Did it feel a little different having your whole rotation up there, Fred there? I don't think you, Gary, and Fred have played together since before you got hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a while.
The active.
No, it's definitely good to have everyone back, everyone healthy, everyone feeling good.
When you look at what you guys have to offer with the addition of Jakob, you guys healthy now. What's your assessment?
I think we're a really talented team. We're a really good team. We can play small. We have Jakob can play big. We're Precious. We have a bunch of different pieces. Will now. We're a really good team, I think.
How much of, when you're guarding DeMar, how much of the work comes before he touches the ball?
Yeah, try to limit his touches, limit his catches, make his catches harder, and then force him into difficult shots. We did a pretty good job today, but usually he's a great player, so.
I mean, I don't think he gave you the pump fake too often, but is that something you're...
Yeah. Everyone knows about that.
How much does the familiarity with him, being around him, help guard him?
Definitely helps, but still in the game, you don't know what they're going to call, and then he makes tough shots all the time. He's a great player.
What do you look to attack when he's defending you?
Pardon?
What do you look to attack when DeMar's defending you?
Well, just try to get into the paint, make the right play. Feel good.
Does it feel like you're getting back into rhythm after missing so much time?
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling better and better each game, so just trying to continue and build.
It often takes young guys a few years to really get good at defense in this league. Precious kind of came into the league, was good right away. What do you think makes him so good so quickly on defense?
He's really versatile. He can play inside, he can protect the rim, he can guard it, move his feet on the perimeter. He can guard anyone, so he's a great defender.
Yeah, when you look at his size and just the way he can move his feet at that size, how rare is that in this league?
I think it's really rare, but he's super talented. I think he could win Defensive Player of the Year. He's a great defender, so he could do amazing things.
How much different when you compare this game to the two over the weekend? Not so much the scoring, but how much different does the ball movement feel when Fred is out there versus when he's not?
Definitely makes a big difference having Fred out there. Definitely helps our team. There's just a steady presence, we know he's going to get us in the right stuff. And yeah, it's nice having him back.
Does it feel like it gets to the second or third side a bit more often with that, or?
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I think it was doing that before as well. I think Scottie was doing a good job too. I think both of them are great. So.
Nick called Scottie's fourth quarter inspirational, especially on the defensive end. How much do those blocks in particular get guys going?
Oh yeah, he was amazing today. He was everywhere, making blocks, getting the rebound, pushing, passing, finishing. He was doing everything. So he's a great player.
Can you talk about what Juancho was like as a teammate and in the locker room? It seems like he brought a lot of joy and energy.
Oh yeah, Juancho was great. We all loved Juancho. Juancho's a great guy. He's super funny, super cool, just a great guy.
What do you think of this new starting five?
Work tonight.
Yeah.
Work tonight. Again, trying out new lineups this late in the season is, it's fun. So just got to continue to work out the kinks on offense. I thought defensively was really good tonight. I thought we were really keyed in and together, tied together. The effort was there. The intensity was there. Created good shots. We got a little stagnant there, a little nasty. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
Gary in the second unit, it's pretty nice to have that offense in there.
Yeah, he's a starting caliber player, obviously. You know what I mean? He's a really good player. He's great offensively. He was really active. He looked fresh. He had pop to him tonight. He carried a big stretch there and for us get a couple key buckets. Him and Chris, to get, 19 from Gary and 9 from Chris, you still got that and Precious, and obviously we'll work Will in. So, I like how that's starting to shape out a little bit.
Nick called Scottie's fourth quarter inspirational, like in terms of the defense, the blocks, and all of that. When he's playing like that, how much do you guys feed off of that?
Yeah, special, man. He made a couple plays. Not many guys in this league can make, the blocks, to push the break, the and one. He was talking. He was keyed in, and that's a big boost. And especially a lineup out there without me and Pascal, for him to carry that in the fourth and get us some separation there that really won us the game ultimately was his defense and his playmaking and just putting pressure on the rim. So we need him to keep making those strides. We know how special of a player he can be, and he shows us that, at times.
Gone up against Will over the years. What do you think of the addition? How much do you think he's going to help down the stretch?
Yeah, I like it. I think, the many as those guys we can get, you know what I mean? He's just a good player. He's a bucket getter. He's a hooper. He's got some playoff experience. He's battle-tested. He's done it at a high level. He's played on really good teams. So I think, whether it's locker room or just experience to help with some of the other guys or just another guy that we can, count on any given night. He can get you 20 to 30 on any given night. I think that's a luxury to have coming off the bench.
Fred, the Bulls have a bunch of guards that get on the glass, like VanVleet and Dosunmu. What was the focus from your end of just like, hey, those guys really go get after it? You guys came up with a really good team rebounding effort.
Yeah, I think tonight was just more of a, guard your own guy, rebound, box out your own guy type of night. There's other nights where we got big guys and we got to put two on a body or try to rotational check out. But tonight was just more like guard your yard. Obviously with Zach and DeMar, we got to plug and help and then, find your guys. So Dosunmu, Pat, obviously Caruso, all of those guys are crashing the glass and you just kind of got to box out your own guy.
You mentioned having to put two on a big. How much does it simplify when you can put Jakob on Vooch?
It helps. Yeah, it helps. It helps a lot. Again, Yak was a great again tonight. He let steal a couple of his rebounds, so his rebounds a little low. But other than that, he's just a treat to have, obviously, on both ends of the floor.
Fred, how are you looking forward to this little stage? I mean, tonight was a game that had some playoff play-in implications. You got Wizards coming, and then all these games on the trip coming up, or against teams that are playing for something mostly.
Yeah, no doubt. It's great for us. It's that time of year, and with the league going to 10 now, it's every game now is playoff implications, and there's going to be a heightened sense of urgency for both sides, from every team, and the teams that are locked in, they're still going to be trying to tighten up. It's a little home stretch here, so it's great for us, and it'll put us in good position, and got to play good basketball going down the stretch. So I'm excited for it, and I think that we've been playing pretty good basketball over the last couple of weeks. We got to keep that up.
Is this where that playoff experience for, say, Scottie and Precious, especially last season, can help them in these games with these high stakes?
Yeah, you would hope so. We definitely can't give any of these away, and I think we all know, the weight and value of each one. So you could feel it tonight. It was kind of one of those games that could have went either way, and I thought we just picked up our urgency a little bit in the second half, and just did a little bit more to come out with the win, and that's all that matters. You got to grade us on the wins and losses right now, and however we get them, Tonight was a good one, and we got a tough, Washington team coming up.
Fred, you missed 3 games for the best possible reason. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it feel to be back?
Oh, it felt great, man. I can't be too excited to be out of the house publicly, but yes, I'm good to be back at work, man. It's I had a hell of a break. You know what I mean? Really, I had a hell of a break. I didn't get to obviously go on a trip or nothing, but I was home, spending time with my family. Wifey was getting close, so we knew it could come at any time. It was a weird week, man. I had a death in the family. I had a birthday and the birth of my child all in the same couple of days. So it was just one of those things, man. It just puts you back in place and gives you great perspective on life. And ultimately, I have an incredible life, and I'm extremely blessed. So. But, yeah, I'm happy to be back at work.
Do we have a name, little boy, little girl?
Layla VanVleet, yeah. So, little girl born last week, right around the New Orleans game around that time. So, the team, did good 2-1 while I was out. So, I was happy about that as well.
One more back to basketball, if I could. The defense started to turn back or get back to where you guys were. What's outside of Yak, which isn't obvious, but what's been the biggest factor in that?
That's tough. That's a tough one. I just think you could see it. I mean, it's just like attention to detail, urgency, locked into the game plan, no funny business. It's just like it's got to matter. You know what I mean? Every possession's got to count, and do the things that we're asked to do from the coaching staff, and make plays and just make extra effort, extra rotation. Which when we do that, we're pretty special. But I think having Jakob helps balance out the floor, and put different guys. I know Coach talked about it the other day, just putting different guys on different positions, and get the wings off the bigs, and let them guard some of the other guards. So we gotta be able to rely on that defense, and the offense will come.
Scottie, great defensive performance, of course. Numbers of blocks, especially down the stretch. Kind of walk me through what was going through your mind.
I was just trying to bring energy the whole night. get things to fall on the other end, but I just try to keep making those defensive plays, coming in late to try to get the blocks. Those guys have been really aggressive, so we needed some rim protection down there.
What did you feel was the difference? Of course your defense, but offensively as well. Barry was hitting some shots, but it was a really tight game at the half, and then kind of turned around throughout the fourth quarter.
I thought we made a good effort to try to get the ball in the paint. We was getting it into OG down the stretch. He was getting it down there, being able to put pressure on the rim, drawing in double teams. Gary was stepping in, hitting big shots, and we just made those plays on the stretch with our team. So that was good.
And then obviously, the next stretch of games here, some must-win games in this road trip.
Every game is a must-win game.
Fair enough. What's that approach, going into this road trip, these games?
Like I said, every game's a must-win game. We want to win them all. We just got to keep going every single night and make a defensive effort to start off and try to win.
Okay, Gary, it seems like you really found your offensive stride, of course, coming off the bench today. What was it like out there for you guys?
Really just trying to get a win, any means necessary. Again, it's crunch time. Don't have any time for really slip-ups. We don't have time for, everybody's dealing with something at this time of the year, whether it's injury, being banged up. So I go out there, play our game, and get as many wins as we can.
The good news is that, I'm sure there's small little nicks and stuff here, but overall you guys are healthy. You guys are available for the most part. What's it like to play with that full rotation and just see how even the depth of the team now kind of that you're healthy?
Yeah, it's great. We got Yap, we got Will. He can help us a lot. So we're just gonna go out there and have a deeper bench. Go out there, play hard, get defensive stops, knock down some shots. We got the inside, protecting at the rim, added the guard play, help on the wing as well too. So it should help us a lot.
You know much about Will's game?
Most definitely, I've watched Will my whole life.
Yeah.
Since I was in high school, he's been in the league for a long time now. He's been doing this for 11 years, so he's gonna help us tremendously.
What stands out to you about it?
Longevity, how you stay in the game, scoring aspect. Obviously, Will the Thrill. He got a nickname for a reason. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody knows what he can do. So he's gonna go out there and just play his game and do what he do to help his team as much as he can.
And then what's the main focus kind of in this road trip coming up? Obviously, that's ideally you would win every single game, but in this case, you just gotta play hard. But what's the main focus in this stretch?
You touched on it. Again, win. We have no other thinking process besides winning. So that's what we're gonna go out there and try to do.
A very solid effort by your guys from start to finish. What do you think of the way they grinded out a tough game?
Yeah, I think that again defensively we did a lot of good things. Just a few moments again where we got a little, and it seems to be the same things. A few transition threes and a few transition buckets. In bar about 8 to 10 offensive possessions. I liked how we were playing offense. I still think there's some rhythm issues and scoring issues. I thought we moved the ball pretty good. I don't know how many assists we had, but we passed it good. I can't even see that. It says 26. It's pretty good for 38 or 9 field goals. I don't know why I can't see that over here tonight, but. So I thought we were making the right plays on offense. It wasn't going in as much as I liked it to, but I thought the plays were pretty much right. Again, there was 6-8 possessions that I would like to have over that we probably didn't execute or shot too quick or something like that without exploring a little bit more. But I thought the ball moved pretty good. So defense solid, offensive execution solid. The offensive scoring wasn't. I think there's some room for growth there.
Yeah, like Thad, who you don't use an awful lot, and tonight I thought he gave you very good minutes.
It was great.
What's the luxury of having a guy like that back and deep in the rotation?
Yeah, is good, and I probably that's a good role for him to kind of we kind of let Chris and Precious see what's going on, and the one thing I will say is those two guys Chris had a tough time in the first half, bounced back great in the second half. They're doing that a little bit. Even if they don't play that good in the first half, they'll bounce back with some hard play in the second. But Thad was able to kind of plug in there, and he was really I thought just strong and assertive and very good at both ends.
Why'd you start who you started, and why'd you finish? And why'd you finish with who you finished with?
Yeah, well, I think that. That felt like the right way to go starting. I think that we needed OG in there for defense. We pretty much matched him with DeMar all night long. And I just felt like we needed Gary scoring in the game because the scoring wasn't coming that easy. And then defensively, we got to a pretty good scheme there, like the last half of the fourth, where we're putting Scottie on Vucevic and being able to switch the ball screens, and OG would then go on Vucevic. So we went back to kind of our whatever, doesn't matter what we call it, that defensive scheme, and that seemed to be good, and it just seemed like the way to stay. Right, I think the combination of it working out defensively with that scheme and Gary's offensive production was the way to go.
You talked about OG working his way back before the game. This looked more like OG, especially in the defensive end?
Yeah, it was good. We got him started right away. We got him. He got a nice little back cut basket to start the game. It's always like a jolt, I think, to somebody. So that was good. And then we had a little bit of a size matchup at times. And we threw the ball in the post to them a couple times, and they were actually, their scheme is to double, and we thought we would live with that. We would throw it in there, let them double, run the cutters, and we'd either get a good cutting basket or probably a wide open three, and we ran a couple of those in a row. I think that got us that, and then he obviously took one too, right to the rim and scored too when they got out of the double. So it was a good place to go, which is nice because we haven't gone that way for quite some time probably.
Even if you take the blocks out, that was one of Scottie's best defensive games. When you add the blocks in, that was just spectacular. What type of a defender does he give you that might be unique, and how is he rounding into that ability on that end of the floor as a player?
Well, the best thing about it all was he was really competing. Right, he was really digging in to try to get stops and compete, right? And you could just see that, and you could see that picking up as the game went on, especially in the fourth. He was really, I thought, inspirational to the other guys, right? And then, again, we got into putting him on Vucevic, and that allowed us to just make the switch. So he's big enough and strong enough to hold off Vucevic, and he's laterally good enough to stay with, their perimeter guys. So that's good versatility.
Jakob was working really hard to keep Vooch off the glass. How big was it to get that team rebounding effort from everyone else?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think that they are interesting now because they do have those two bigs that rebound, Drummond especially, but they're really sending a lot of their other guys to they're pretty crafty at sending Beverly and Caruso and Williams, and all those guys are going. Usually you can use one of those guys on the bigs. We kind of put two guys to block out the bigs normally, and it was getting a little difficult because they were slashing in from the perimeter so much to rebound. But it was a pretty physical game. It was good. I thought we played with good physicality, and the rebounding was part of it.
All season, Scottie's numbers have been much better in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. We've talked about it before. Just the competitive side of him really starts, emerging in the fourth, and he just starts playing really physical and really tough.
Do you need that to emerge earlier in the game, and how do you get that to happen?
Well, I don't know. I think that again, I'm going to say the same things I always say. I want him to be more aggressive. I want him to beat people up going to the basket and finish a little bit more. I thought he got there a bunch. He had about how many roll off? At least three. Right, at least three. There might have been more, but he was trying to get there. He got there, and he was just a little bit unlucky on those. Might have to switch those to the left hand once in a while. I don't know. We'll take a look at that. But it's all right. He playing super hard. I thought we had a really good defensive effort in the fourth when we needed it, and good. Lots of guys chipped in on that.
Nick, earlier in the season, yourself in the front office seemed to always be kind of optimistic there would be some sort of turnaround with this team, especially when the team was not looking at their best stretches. How satisfying has it been to be able to see the month of February go by and have probably your best stretch of basketball?
Well, it's good. I don't know what that is. I don't know, 7, 8 out of 10 or something like that. That's not bad. We probably let one of those get away from us and had one stinker in there too, right? But I think that over the month and even maybe creeping back a couple weeks into January, I've been much more satisfied with the defensive effort. And again, I think that's what we knew we were going to be built on all season, and we're getting there. And it's been, you know, that's going to give us a chance every night. I mean, what did we shoot 40% tonight and still win? That's not great shooting percentage. I think the offense will come here shortly. I mean, we know we're running out of time, but I think the motions and the moves and the things we're doing and the spacing and the relocating, all that stuff is at a pretty high level. The cutting's getting better, passing's getting better. Now we just got to do the most important part, put it in the hole.
We'll wrap up with Lindsay. Can you kind of go through the reasoning to give Will some minutes tonight, given kind of the turnaround?
Yeah, that was a little bit of a roll of the dice, but was just a moment where we needed another ball handler. They were pretty small, and Scottie'd already kind of played a lot of minutes, so we just decided to throw him out there. I liked him though. I thought he really moved the ball and looked good out there in those few minutes. So I look forward to getting him a little longer look.